Hello, I'm Joel Blackford with Beth Hassett Sabbath Fellowship. Thank you for joining us. We are virtual only. We're based out of St. Paul, Minnesota. The phone number works if you'd like to contact us. We do the thought behind the thought, the philosophy of eschatology. John Heller does a great job on the basic news and things like that. I try to do what you need to know, the reality, our existence, what's going on in the world, and how do you deal with what's going on, the philosophy. So we're solving a little piece of Revelation 13, a little bit of 19, a little bit of First Thessalonians or Second Thessalonians in this case, about the signs and things like that are coming up, because we've got all sorts of things going on right now. We've got orbs and UFOs, but first we had the war, the Syria war, where Syria fell in 11 days. That's amazing. It seems to be very prophetic. And so you look at the right-hand side of this picture, and obviously the left-hand side is Syria falling and the Ukraine-Russia war and all of these wars that Trump wants to stop. Well, there's something prophetic about Syria, and there's something prophetic about this year because it's got that horrible red look, for 2025 coming up, and other symbols on there, the nuclear symbols, the eye with with the nuclear thing going on there. Just the general tenor of this is depressing. So I'm saying the orbs seem to come right after the war's time frame in Syria. So there's something prophetic that I'm not picking up on. Maybe you are. And so here they are, these UFOs and orbs, and they started out seemingly in New Jersey and New York, and New York's Governor Hochul is so unhappy with this because the feds won't say anything about it. So New Jersey senator says feds are too fearful of public reaction to tell the truth about mysterious drones. This is from the New York Post, but it's being published by News Nation in part. The interview is, and so he's very unhappy, and he should be. The feds are not talking. One person that isn't talking is Elon Musk, and we'll talk about that the whole video long. He's not saying anything, and he has the gift of gab. So the drone scandal explodes. His airport is shut down. Many airports are shut down. Many areas are shut down because of all the drones, all the activity. And there's Hochul talking about how bad it is. The crisis has gone too far. Well, she's not going to get answers from the federal government because they don't know what's going on either. That was from the Daily Mail. And this has been a year of signs, okay? So we had 2017 signs, the 2023 signs, the Aleph, the Tav, things like that. And then the April 8th of 2024, the eclipse. So this has been a big year. And we know people like Aleister Crowley and others have been predicting something would happen at some point in time, and we see the signs. We wonder what it means. We don't know yet, but it's interesting. And then we've got the people on the other side, the pre-trib rapture people saying, oh, doctrine of imminence. There's no observable warning signs at all. So Tommy Ice would say, signless coming by Christ at the rapture. So they love their doctrine of imminence, but they don't understand the signs are bonkers right now. We have pole shifts, we have auroras, low latitude auroras, we have UFOs or whatever they are, or orbs or drones. I have all sorts of things going on right now, and they're telling us nothing's going on. There are no signs prior to the rapture. Well, the rapture is not biblical. And so what we're trying to do is not twist the Bible, give you prophecies that make sense. We're going to be talking about the false prophet today. We'll get there, don't worry. And then about the news, because the news is going bonkers about the UFOs and the orbs. So this is from Norrie, George Norrie, who's a late night talk host, that he's saying that it's very, very bizarre, but alien tech, no. He says it doesn't add up. He's saying, no, this can't be aliens. I'm going to rule out extraterrestrial. It sounds just like that. It sounds like a military effort more than anything else. Well, he's wrong, and I'll give you the reasons for that. Because these are coming out of the water, okay? They seem to be opening up portals, and they're illuminated. If you were a Chinese spy, you would not want lights on your drones, okay? You would figure out how to map it out during the day, and then you'd come back at night. But you wouldn't put these FAA-approved lighting on a spy drone, okay? And so, we've got the situation here. Is it alien tech from Mail Online? And they're saying no. And I'm saying yes. So that's George Norrie again. and the bizarre aspects. And then we've got people that aren't talking, like Pope Francis and Elon. I think the aliens are talking to us right now. I don't call them ETs. I call them EDs, extra dimensionals. It is intriguing that back in 1938, Orson Welles rehearsed his War of the Worlds broadcast, and that was on October 30th. And so it's interesting now that we have something going on that seems like a War of the Worlds, but it is an extra dimensional War of the Worlds. And if you know my moniker, it is my book is Danny's Inferno, but the publishing behind it is part of the trilogy of War of the Unseen Worlds. And so I've been advertising that for years. And we're seeing a war right now of the unseen worlds. So why is Elon silent? He's always talkative. He's a chatty Cathy. Why is he silent? And what's going on? So we'll keep on digging into this, and I hopefully will be able to explain my side to you. And you can determine whatever you want. So Demon Technology has no heat signature. This is a guy named J.D. Rucker. He has his own little show called Worldview Beef. And so the law enforcement agents from New York, New Jersey are saying there's no heat signature at all. And I can't read his information in here. It doesn't really matter anyway. But basically, people in the know are saying we normally can sense this from heat signatures, but it's not there. So now these are the big four for me for why I believe that this is extra dimensional. And it's from the Deep State Illuminate. And update, New Jersey police say these drones have 1, no heat signature, 2, go dark and disappear when approached, 3 are coming off the ocean, coming literally up and out of the ocean. And number 4, they're lighted. Okay. So once again, if you are on a spy mission, you don't call attention to yourself. So this is News Nation again, which is interesting. I've never really observed what they talk about. I don't know if I like News Nation or not, but they seem to be getting the news right now as news is disseminated. So once again, they come up out of the water, they move around at 90-degree angles very quickly, which means I think it's demon tech plasmas. So I argue that when I saw something that was demonic back in 2006, that I looked at a plasma, so to speak, and it was called sleep paralysis. And then my son was attacked later on, about 6 months later, and that was shadow dancing, and it was a plasma again. So the demons seem to have the ability to create plasmas and show them to us, and that's why they can avoid the rules of physics. So this is from the Squawk. Unexplained blue lights, UAPs captured on video, plunging into ocean off West Coast. And from what I can tell, this seems to be coming from the Knott's Berry Farm area of California, which is probably Orange County. And so you can see on the right-hand side, there they are. They're diving into the ocean if you went to this particular X account. And so they're arguing that obviously drones can't do that. And so so I'm saying they're extraterrestrial, or in this case, extra dimensional. From Squawk, and this is from December 13th, so it's fairly current here. So, and this is from KIRO, which is out of the Seattle area. 500 recent comments on Reddit were posted with the claims of seeing drones. One person claimed they saw a drone the size of a car. And this is near Ballard. And then they've seen them in Tacoma, Gig Harbor, and across parts of Kitsap Peninsula. I'm saying they're opening up portals and lights and things like that. You don't illuminate spy balloons or spy orbs. Okay, so 10 drones flying in formation over Tacoma Narrows Bridge at night. Aware and monitoring the reports of unauthorized drone flights in the vicinity of military installations in New Jersey. Well, thank you, KIRO, for good reports on this. They're popping up all over the place, many locations. And of course, our government is saying nothing about it. And they're saying you can't shoot them either. But the orb crisis is in 7 states right now. So ex-CIA officer gives chilling drone theory as terrified residents sound the alarm and crisis spreads to 4 more states. Okay, so the states for them are California, a couple of spots, Riverside County, which I have friends that live out there, Massachusetts, Florida, Wyoming, Maryland, New York, and New Jersey. But there will be more. Well, actually, now we're up to 8 states because of Oregon and Washington, so probably 9. So Joe Biden remains silent As I said, Musk is silent, and normally he's busy. He's talking. You can see him down below, kind of at an angle there. Biden is silent. Others are silent that would be in the know, but this seems to be demonic. Mayorkas again reveals why federal government can't shoot down. He never does anything anyway. I mean, if Mayorkas was really in charge, we would never do anything, and nothing would be accomplished in our world. Once again, these are mail online for both of these articles. Very interesting to see that I can't get news from America in most cases. I have to go overseas to get my information. Odd. Okay, this is Alert News Network. Breaking intel from verified high-level source with top-secret special access clearance has dropped a bombshell. Info on us in the mysterious drones seen across the U.S. These are our drones, tracking gamma rays linked to possible WMDs in a massive counter-terror operation. They're wrong, but that's fine. I mean, some of the drones are illuminated, and so they probably are U.S. drones, okay? But some of them are not, and obviously when you get up close to them, the lights turn off. Those seem to be demonic, okay? So I'm arguing these are portals being opened up. I'm arguing that we're going to see more sightings. It is, I mean, the report down below there with all the sightings from 1906 to 2014, they're all in America and Europe. Well, because we're aware of these things. But anyway, on the right-hand side, low-altitude surveillance, aircraft scanning for signals, special ops possibly. Okay, let's just drop it down to the bottom here. Based on my research, silent water-based UFOs are demon tech plasmas. They've been spotted in and around Antarctica for years. You are beginning to experience the unveiling of demons and extra-dimensional beings. Okay? Just get used to that. That's what happens during the end of days. This is Revelation 9. This is Revelation 13. These are the signs and miracles and other things like that that we're going to experience moving forward. And I'll try to explain more of that to you. So once again, just list a few more things. Here's Maryland, where you can see it. So now we're up to 10 states. What is the government doing? Nothing. Nothing at all. What could they do? If this is non-human, what could they do? They're not prayerful people. They're not faithful people. On the right-hand side, this is possibly the best and clearest video ever of these drones approaching UAP, and then it touches UAP. UAP shoots it down. Interesting. So one of them was shot down, but this is Phoenix, Arizona. Interesting. Okay. This could be a drone. So once again, the big points that I want you to see, they have no heat signal. They go dark and disappear when approached, are coming off the ocean, in and out of the ocean, the bright lights. If it's a spy drone or orb, it wouldn't have lights, okay? So some are orbs, some are drones with lights, okay? And the United States government is sending drones up. Moment mystery drones loiter over U.S. air base in Britain. Global alarm over UFOs after sightings in New Jersey, as experts say they may be a prelude to Russian or Iranian attack. No, they're not. Okay, and this is Mail Online again, and Elon is silent again. On the right-hand side, you can see the running lights. They're kind of like my boat. I don't fly that often, but I am aware of the lights that planes have to be FAA approved. So the drones have their lights on because whoever is operating them wants the entire world to see and talk about them. That's why it's extra dimensional. And that's coming from Jimmy Corsetti. I agree with Jimmy. He's got it down. And this is the time when those dimensions will break down and you'll see into the other dimension. Okay? If they're not human, what are they? I'm not sure that Sabrina Singh is human at all. But anyway, she's on the left-hand side. Pentagon confirms these drones are not human. Now, they're not coming out and stating it that way. They're just walking around the comments, but basically they're confirming their opinion are not of earthly origin. Okay. And Jim Ferguson, again, on the right-hand side, breaking UFO and drone transported under heavy escort. So basically, they shot one down, and now they're transporting it. Interesting, Shocking footage, yes, of the UFO accompanied by heavy police escort. Interesting. Once again, Elon Musk is saying nothing, and he has all the satellites monitoring all of these things. So what I'm arguing on this slide from Mail Online is that we have been aware of these things for years, okay? From underworld portals to UFO landing zones, lakes of blood, and undiscovered pyramids in Egypt, the strangest Google Earth images. We're aware of these strange things, okay? And so Google Earth is quite aware of the portals and what's going on and the activities coming in and out of the portals. So there seem to be UFO landing zones, okay? And Elon Musk's babysitter's testimony, Elon opened a portal years ago when he was a little boy. So there are these portals across the world. They're biblical, people. Okay, so I'm not quoting something that is anti-biblical. The portals are in chapter 9 of Revelation, very specific there. And you could argue there are other portals that are listed probably in Isaiah 24 and other places like that. Although God isn't going to just say, it's a portal, look here, you have to kind of read it, the intent into what God is talking about in the Bible. But this is an Antarctic type of a portal on the right-hand side that seems to be, maybe it's a seed vault, but maybe it's also a UFO vault. You never know. Okay, this is from my friend Doug Hamp. We do the show together, Prophecy Roundtable. You can see his picture on the lower right-hand side. And so basically, I want you to see 4 points from this particular book that he has, and I can't remember which Corrupting the Image it's from, but Know Your Enemy, The Seed Wars. And so he's talking about Hillel ben Shakar. I spell it differently, but that's fine. That's Lucifer, Satan, and that's from Isaiah 14:12. So keep in mind that there will be wars over seed, and you can find it vaguely described in Daniel 2:43 and 44. The war of this seed versus that seed. And so he's arguing the seed will be a huge factor as, believe it or not, and I'll try to explain it in another slide here, that there will be a seed exchange at some point in time. And the aliens have always been asking for seed, and they've always wanted to corrupt our seed. Okay, this is going back to Genesis 6:4 and before that time. Okay, so down below it says Nephilim, basically in the pink there, lower left-hand side, man's seed against Satan's seed, the Nephilims and the aliens, to corrupt the bloodline of the coming Messiah, Yeshua, or to corrupt humanity so we can't be saved. Okay, then on the upper right-hand side, Nephilim again. These were the giants of those days in Genesis 6:4. And afterward, Satan returned after the flood, again to contaminate man's seed. So you can't be saved by God if you're corrupted. And Doug's right with that. Okay. And then down, let's see, it's middle of the right-hand side, and it says portal, basically, P-O-R-T. Other examples of where Elohim, God, Yud-He-Vav-He, our Father, who had to intervene to prevent contamination of the coming messianic bloodline. Sodom and Gomorrah, he interacted in there. Satan also had little presence for Israel, yes. So basically, there are portals that open up, and it seems to be to contaminate our genetic code. So once again, Doug has his various books, Corrupting the Image 1, 2, 3, 4, and then Regenesis Code is this new one out. Prolific author. So this is from Peter St. Ongi, PhD. 23% of the drones are foreign state actors, 77%. They're a marketing campaign for Homeland Security budget hike. That's funny. I love him. I think he's wonderful. He actually reached out to me the other day on X, and that was kind of cool. I'm arguing no, even if it's only 1%, this is a segue to Pope Francis. He's going to be pushing the alien mysteries and things like that. And I'll try to give you exactly why as we move through this video. So I don't think it's a foreign state actor. I think this is EDs, and the Pope is involved in that, and Elon too. The Pope is pushing for a one world religion called Chrislam. Okay, and I don't know if this is a real cover of time or not, but and if they modified it or not, it doesn't matter. He has been pushing for Chrislam for years. Is he the false prophet? I argue that he is. Well, you can see that he went to his creche scene here recently, and it was basically Jesus is a Palestinian. Well, that's wrong. And even Eli David, who's a Jewish fellow, thinks it's wrong because you're pushing the Palestinian side that Jesus is somehow a Palestinian and the Jews are always wrong with everything. And the Pope was, he's basically behind that. Okay. And he had to take it down very quickly, too. So when does the false prophet arrive to activate the signs? You could read Revelation 13 on your own and get a rough idea of what's going on. I'm going to give you the backside of the story. But the beast was taken captive, and with it the false prophet, who in its presence had done the miracles which he had used to deceive those who had received the mark of the beast and those who had worshipped his image. The beast and the false prophet were both thrown alive into the lake of fire that burns with sulfur. So going back to 2 Thessalonians 2, you will see signs that are described as dunamis, which is like dynamite, okay? Signs, semeion, or whatever that means. It could be various signs. We're seeing that right now with the orbs. And then wonders, terrace. And so there are more earthbound signs that we'll see. And so basically the Pope, I believe, is the false prophet, and he will use these signs and miracles and terrors and other things like that to deceive us into taking the mark of the beast and to lose our salvation. So when will he activate these signs? I think they're starting to be activated right now. Okay, so we'll cover some things about the Pope and the Vatican. And keep in mind, I have Catholic friends that agree with me on this too. Strong Catholics, good people, pro-life people. Pressure on Vatican to reveal archives after UFO cover-up. And this is from 8/2 of 23. I'm arguing there are these portals out there, just weird portals. So the alien probe was launched after David Grush, who resigned from his post in April, told News Nation that the government had retrieved several non-human origin technical vehicles, some of which contained dead pilots. In the same interview, he claimed that under the fascist dictator Benito Mussolini, the Italian government had recovered a UFO and moved it to a secure airbase for the remainder of his regime, which ended with the Allied occupation of Italy. Grush alleged that then Pope Pius the XII had back-channeled knowledge of the UFO to the U.S., which ended up scooping it up from them. When asked explicitly whether he was saying the Catholic Church knew about the existence of alien life, Grush responded, "Certainly. They've known about it for many, many years." And how do you know they've known about it? Because the Catholic Church hired up John McCain, a Catholic, to push through that Mount Graham would have a binocular telescope called the Lucifer telescope. And so he pushed through the bill quietly in the middle of the night. And this is back years ago. He probably pushed it through in 2010. But the university tapped McCain to push through Congress the so-called Idaho and Arizona Conservation Act of 1988. Well, that meant that they disfigured the mountain. So that conservation, okay? A deceptively titled law that actually a double-barrel blast at the environment. It gave the green light to illegal logging on the wildlands of Idaho and for the construction of Mount Graham telescopes, shielding them from any kind of litigation by environmentalists or Apaches. To help sneak this malign measure through Congress, the University of Arizona shelled out more than $500,000 for the services of the powerhouse D.C. lobbying firm Patton Boggs Blow. Probably like, oh well. Anyway, so it's called Lucifer, which is large binocular telescope, near infrared utility with camera and integral field unit for extragalactic research. Lucifer. Yeah, they named it after that. Okay, it's a portal opening. Okay, that is a mystical mountain. The Native Americans knew about it for years, and the Catholics named it Lucifer. So in 2010, these actual news reports astounded the net readers. They caused such a scandal among Catholics, and no one took them down. So basically, then it was scrubbed after that. So Mount Graham is interesting as a result of that, to have the observatory there, and it's called Lucifer. Okay, so this is 1917, and it's in Fatima, Portugal, and 70,000 people witnessed a UFO portal opening up, and they saw a UFO. And the Pope knows of the secrets and things like that. Fatima honors Mary, so it was the miracle of the sun, but Mary was involved in it. Original photo of the miracle of the sun of Fatima, 13th of October, 1917, published by L'Osservatore Romano from 1951. Mary's involved in it. A false Mary, obviously. Okay, so I want you to just note the dates. Okay, this is when these weird beings, this Mary, showed up and talked to these three kids in Portugal, Fatima area there, May 13th, 1917, June 13th, 1917, July 13th, 1917, August 13th, but then the kids weren't allowed to meet, so they met on the 19th, but they were supposed to meet on the 13th. Then September 13th of 1917 and October 13th of 1917 was the big show. And the wacko picture on the right-hand side where, they're partying down with some figurine idol, okay? So basically, one, God wouldn't want three cute little kids to be involved in something this big. The 13th is very odd. And the Queen of Heaven is biblical, people, okay? And that's the false Mary. So, Pope's Portals Jubilee. So basically, the Pope is saying there's going to be a Jubilee year in 2025, which is interesting. And as a result of that, he's going to open 5 sacred portals on Christmas Eve for the ritual that's never been done before. And this is from December 9th of 2024 in the New York Post. Basically, a lot is happening to open up portals, and the Pope is involved in it. This is a little bit of clickbait, but it's still interesting, and obviously it seems ET. Okay, Petrus Romanus contradicts gospel. Bishop Schneider, Pope Francis has contradicted the entire gospel. From LifeSite News, this I want to say this is earlier in 2024, and so basically, Pope Francis is going the wrong direction. So these are good Catholics saying the Pope is going way far out the wrong direction. Okay? And so clearly is against the divine revelation, which contradicts the first commandment of God, which is ever valid. You shall not have other gods before me. I wish the Catholics and the Lutherans believed in the second commandment, but they omit it and they double up on the 10th. Such a statement contradicts the entire gospel. So this is interesting from Bishop Schneider. Then this is you could read the word there, GAY lobby, okay? Vatican employee says that lobby wields enormous influence over Pope Francis. Once again, LifeSite, 12/14 of 2024. Frustrated Vatican employee has alleged that Pope Francis is giving preferential treatment to this lobby when it comes to decision making. And Pope Francis probably has alleged financial mismanagement, but he gives strong preference to the wrong agenda. So basically, on the bottom here, you can't read the newspapers of the center right, and you'll have to speak Spanish to be around the Pope, and you have to be green, pro-migrant, and above all, pro-Palestinian. For them, Nicolas Maduro is a saint, and Donald Trump is a devil to the Pope. There you go. All right, so this is another good Catholic guy, Anthony Stein from Chicago area. Jesuits' 100-year plan to turn the church over to Satan. He's basically quoting Malachi Martin, Windswept House, which is a book that's written against the Jesuits and against the people that are in power in the Vatican that want to destroy the Catholic faith. So the Jesuits, the Society of Jesus, and the betrayal of the Roman Catholic Church from Malachi Martin again. So basically, there's a Jesuit takeover of the church occurring right now, and Anthony is talking about that, and it's not healthy. The Jesuits, when they get in power, are too powerful. Okay, so is he the false prophet? Is Pope Francis that man? Is he going to be... Now, I'm arguing against this on the right-hand side, which is 5 are fallen, 1 is, and 1 is yet to come, and then there is an 8th. That's not how it works. That's about America, not about the popes, but it's still interesting. And is Father Malachi Martin Lucifer in the Vatican? Very accurate with that. Then the books down below on Malachi Martin from 1921 to 1999. So basically, he's citing and paraphrasing the 112 popes that are listed in the St. Malachi's prediction back many, almost 1,000 years ago, that Pope John Paul I would be of the half moon. And he came on board when the moon was at half moon, and then he died, I'm sorry. So he was only on for a month, okay? And it was on the moon and died during that same phase of the moon. Very interesting. Pope John Paul II, the labor of the sun. So the most traveled pope born on a solar eclipse, labor of the sun. Okay. Benedict XVI, 111th, The phrase is the glory of the olive. He became Benedict. He was a Benedictine. The symbol is the olive branch. Then the 112th is Petrus Romanus, and he will rule over great chaos, the end times, the mark of the beast, and things like that. It seems like he's playing that part. Okay, so then you have to add in CERN. CERN is really weird too. What is CERN doing? So they're over in Switzerland and they're trying to open up portals. So this is from Dr. Astrid Stuckelberger. She's a Swiss scientist who claims CERN is working on secret nuclear program. And there's a portal underneath CERN from where beings come in and out. Physicists who work there told her that there are 17 different dimensions of reality. Once again, Elon is silent. And then CERN is changing time. Pagan high places, highest mountains, water in all Europe via curses. Let's see. Turn off T3, light in your body via ionization. Humans are hackable, programmable. These are from this article from Maria Z. Just all this weird stuff, programmable, clonable, and to be influenced. She says the physicists from CERN who told her there are beings from portals coming in and out. And then on the bottom, in the pink, bottom of the CERN, this is a portal, a door, where they are dealing with all the subatomic dimensions. Okay, so it's just interesting that all of this is occurring over there. And it was built on the Apollo's temple in that French-Swiss area. There was a temple there, yes, to Apollo at some point in time. Okay, so that's where CERN is. So portals, again, Elon Musk claims he's an alien in bizarre Twitter exchange when asked about his empire. Yeah, just bizarre. Okay, so normally he's very, very loud. He's always being interviewed all the time. But in terms of what's going on right now with the orbs and the UFOs, he's silent. And so that's from the star there. And then on the right-hand side, Elon Musk says he is an alien after denying suspicions that he hails from another planet. Musk's answer sent fans into a frenzy, with one Twitter user describing his announcement as the worst-kept secret, and another commented, "We knew it already that you were an alien." And I'm saying that Elon has been opening up portals for years. So this is from Rebecca Sterling. This is the Stadium Video 5, and I'll show you more of a clip of how to watch this. But basically, she's arguing that at some point in time, at the midpoint, the Pope will hand over basically the keys of the kingdom to the Antichrist, and the veil between alien and human will open up, and you'll see the aliens for what they are at that midpoint. And she's saying that you'll have 3 days of hell on Earth during that midpoint. Avalanches, blizzards, cyclones, droughts, earthquakes, epidemics, extreme heat, extreme cold, floods, hailstones, ice storms, landslides, impacts from space, sinkholes, solar flares, tornadoes, tsunamis, volcanoes, wildfires from the extra dimensionals as they're outed and things get kind of wacky. Okay, I'm arguing it comes after the fourth trumpet, and it's going to be interesting. They'll be selling world peace, which comes from a guillotine. Okay. And keep in mind that there are various people that have been pushing the guillotine practice or cutting people's heads off for years, okay? And so her video then is, you can find it for free under David Strode, A Voice Crying in the Wilderness. The guillotine is an interesting video where basically they introduce, according to Rebecca Sterling's vision of this, the guillotine as the answer to world peace. And that comes at about the midpoint of the Great Tribulation. And so everybody's going to buy guillotines and start guillotining people. Very interesting. So once again, David Strode, guillotine. There's your picture of a guillotine. And the system is called the Order of the Lily. Very interesting. Okay, so moving forward, we'll cover a few more things and we're done. Radar guy here, I know who is operating the drones. And so his answer is, the drones are part of a military drill being conducted by Space Force. Everything is a need-to-know basis, which is why there is so much confusion. I doubt it, okay? They're setting up some kind of a big show for the public. Yeah, the extra dimensionals are. It's not the government, okay? The government is confused. So this is a prophecy from Beverly, a nice, sweet lady that I talked to on the internet, and it's just interesting. I want you to hear it. Old ancient demons to rise. Also, some are here now. If we look, we'll see them with spiritual eyes, the final battle. See scripture where you can see one can defeat 1,000 and two, 10,000. So we need to have greater faith during this time. Pray for Revelation to unseal now sons and daughters of Zion who have been grafted into not just the kingdom and more. Here purge everything first, weapons, the word of God, send evil into oblivion, partially see and hear battle in the sky. That's what we're going through right now. We're going to start to see and hear the battle in the skies. Interdimensional, faded in and out of visible realm, in addition to what is going on the earth. So thank you, Beverly, for that. Interesting prophetic words, kind of a vision. I met with Henry Groover years ago, back in 2017. Wonderful prophetic man. This is part 6, Henry Groover, Fallen Angels Chained Beneath Streets of Rome. We believe, based on Revelation chapter 9 that you see on the right-hand side, that this is going to occur at some point in time. The 5th angel sounded his shofar, and I saw a star that had fallen out of heaven onto the earth, and he was given the key to the shaft leading down to the abyss. He opened the shaft of the abyss, and there went up smoke from the shaft, like the smoke of a huge furnace, and the sun was darkened, and the sky too, and the smoke from the shaft. Then the smoke onto the earth came locusts. Out of the smoke came locusts, and they were given power like the power scorpions have on earth. Revelation 9, 1-3. This will happen at some point in time. They seem to be chained underneath us. He's arguing they're chained underneath Rome. There are various portals. Rome is probably a portal, so we just don't know where they are. This is from Carol Rosen. She worked with Werner von Braun. He was the famous scientist. He was part of the Nazi Party. He came over here, and he worked with her and did research on rockets. Okay, the same thing that Elon Musk is doing with alien technology. So the signs that are happening to us, the 5 signs, are first in the 1970s, the Soviet threat, where we're going to have, the Cold War, we'll call it. Okay, then number 2 that's going to cause us anxiety is terrorists. After the fall of communism, terrorists would be identified as the next major threat. Then third world crazies, number 3, later defined as, we'll call it nation building or nations of concern. Then asteroids, that'll happen, don't worry. But then finally extraterrestrials, or EDs, the final and most outlandish threat, according to Rosen's recollection of Werner von Braun's words. And so basically she's getting at that it's all a lie. It's all a fabrication. And it's designed to frighten people so that we don't think clearly. So she has a very good scientific record. She seems like a wonderful person. And so what they're going to do is try to justify the development of space-based weapons, okay, to fight against these orbs and drones and things like that. So where are we at right now? We're in the birth pangs. We are not in the tribulation. We are seeing the Pope put together these portals and these alien beings. Musk is not saying anything right now. We're not in the tribulation or even the Great Tribulation, but we are banging along through the birth pangs. But those dimensions are starting to open up and things like that. So you'll just notice that occurring. And so you need to work on you and your family, which is, there's a wedding coming up. You can't be naked. You can't have dirty garments. It's going to happen probably during the fall festivals of Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. So get ready for it. It's a wedding. Be ready for that, but be aware that the demons are attacking and other things are obviously these signs right now seem to be extra dimensional. It makes more sense as I look at all the points. So be blessed. Thank you very much for your time. And what we'll do is talk to you hopefully next week. God bless.